Candace. Hi, I'm Bruce.
And they're just going to be following us around and watching the inspection and see.
This is the Hansel 3?
This is the hand.
Okay.
You guys want to see the lab?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you typically looking for when you do an inspection?
Well, we're looking for your means of egress. We're looking for your chemicals, your MSDS sheets, the way you store it. Where do you store your chemicals?
They're stored in the stock room. We can go there now if you'd like.
Okay. I don't see any of these that are combustible.
Well, they would be stored over here, correct?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see your locker.
Yeah, we've got I think the proper locker for that.
Okay.
You want me to open
It's
that?
labeled correctly. Does this stay locked? Nope. Charles, another thing we look at is we were talking about egress.
Yes.
Is anytime you have an exit, the door has to swing in the path of the egress.
Okay, so that's actually
So
swinging
this
the wrong
door
way.
is backwards.
Okay, very quick exit out this other end here. Probably if we were going to exit an emergency, we'd probably end up exiting that direction.
Okay.
So,
You gonna look at the bottom?
which I don't know, could that be labeled that as an exit as well?
No.
No,
You don't want to exit to lead back into another room. You want the
Okay.
exit to lead
to the hall.
to
main
an
hall.
egress path.
Okay, so like.
Either outside or to the egress path. Okay.
Another thing, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Jim.
Another thing is you have a sprinkled building, so we're really sticklers about 18 inches from the ceiling with anything you got stacked up.
Okay, so like that's not
I don't
acceptable?
see any major problems.
Okay,
I wouldn't go any higher than anything you have in here right now.
okay,
And the purpose is that so the sprinklers can work and do their job and put the fire out.
okay,
You stack to the ceiling, they can't get in there and do their job, so.
right, that makes sense. But we have not yet.
What we look for here is if it's got the pressure and when it was tagged. And on this one, it's not tagged.
Okay,
So on this one, your maintenance folks will have to go back and talk to Brad,
okay.
and he's got a punch when
For
you do
each
the
month?
inspection.
Okay, okay,
So in other words, if he punches it this, he'll punch September and he'll punch 12. And that tells the crews when they come through to inspect, it's not due again till September of 13.
okay,
But all these have to be punched.
right. Because then it's
Yeah.
just like indefinite, you never know when it was done. Video, if you'd like. I have a question about the fire extinguisher.
Okay.
So, I typically tell my students that if somebody was on fire, the fire extinguisher would not be the appropriate thing to use, that would be the fire blanket. Is that correct?
You don't want to put chemical on anybody if you don't have to.
Right.
So that's the whole purpose of the blanket. You put them on the ground and cover them up, and hopefully that'll pat it out, yeah.
Okay. And do we have a certain class of fire extinguishers that are acceptable for chemical fires? It's a little
I
different
think with
than
what you
other
have,
places?
just ABC is going to be enough.
Okay, so.
You don't
it's-
have anything identified as a particular agent in here that ABC wouldn't do it.
Okay, so ours is a standard fire extinguisher and it's acceptable for,
Yeah.
okay.
As long as you don't get carried away filling your box up over there.
Right, we don't plan to.
Have y'all ever operated the emergency eye wash?
No, we haven't.
I think I've never operated it under the circumstances of having some in my eyes, but practice, yes.
Okay. That would be something for y'all to think about in the future.
Absolutely.
Because when you do have to do it, it's real important for the person that's getting it done to, is to make sure they're keeping their eyes open, not just under the water with their eyes closed. So
Good point.
it takes a little coaxing from the person helping
Right,
to everything short of holding them down and propping their eyelids open, but it's important to get that chemical out as soon as you can. So, and that's the whole purpose of having those here.
okay. So, and then we decided, my students recommended that we put a fire blanket in here as well because that access isn't.
Yeah, you want it accessible.
So we've ordered one and it's gonna be placed right here next to the
Okay.
safety shower.
Okay. And you know that the purpose of an extinguisher is not necessarily to put the fire out, so to speak. If when you use a fire extinguisher, if the fire's small enough, then yeah, we want you to put it out. But if you get the extinguisher and do your sweep and push on it, it doesn't put the fire out, we want you to get out.
Something else, not only here but at home, is running your electrical cords through your water.
Yeah.
It's not a good choice. You might, matter of fact, I saw another plug, you may even plug, that's kind of warm.
Yeah, that was just used.
You might want to plug it in over there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, even at home, I see it done all the time. People, I don't know, because it gets on your legs and it bothers you and bugs you, so you kind of lay it up there. But another thing I noticed is your power strips, you don't have anything plugged into them. We don't allow power strips plugged into power strips. We don't
Okay.
allow any extension cords plugged into power strips.
Okay.
And then, of course, one power strip per outlet. You can't plug two power strips into this outlet.
That's great to know, because, you know, all the kids use computers, they've
Yes.
got power strips all the time everywhere, so that's really good to know.
Yes, the other high school is very aware of that.
Yes. No power strips into your surge protector, into your GFI plugs either.
The ones that have the
Yes.
shut off?
They have shut off. No
Okay.
power strips.
You don't have little charts or flip cards to tell you what to do if something happens?
Well, we made our own recently.
Where are those at? Do you have some?
Yep, we have some out here.
We also have the laboratory flip one next to the door just in case anything happens.
So we have
I
that.
think Candace is gonna grab hers too, to show you.
I think this one's for storage.
Y'all made this?
No,
No.
no. This,
These are the students' products here. Some of them
Okay.
are spread out here.
this one's.
This is the order based on their recommendation that was recently placed, and then this is the chemical inventory that is still in process and is not complete, but that we're working on. Question about the inventory, is that something that you guys usually like to have on hand? Like, I would imagine if there was a fire here, you'd want to know what.
Well, if you don't have a master MSDS sheet or book, yes, we'd be interested in what you have.
Is there any kind of class protocol for accountability if you do have to evacuate? Meeting spot or someone who actually takes names and find out if everyone's there?
We have not set that up yet, though. I know that's something that the school will do. We're
I'm sure there
so,
would be a school-wide.
but
protocol.
we don't have one for our specific, for our class yet. It's probably something that
Might
we
not be a
should
bad
have.
idea just for.
Absolutely.
class itself.
Yeah. For a class-wide emergency. Absolutely.
Well, could you just go off attendance though, for that day?
Well, right, but who's responsible for what? Like, is somebody responsible for making sure the button is hit? Is somebody responsible for making sure everybody's
Oh,
out? You
okay.
know, I know the teacher is typically responsible for all that, but if you have more people involved, it just makes sure that those things.
Yeah, because I can tell
No,
you.
the evacuation procedures in this, it tells you what to do.
Exactly. Awesome.
Let me ask you about this. This one says, if a chemical spills in a lab, first alert your teacher. Next, scan the QR code in the bottom and check the chemicals MSDS. The MSDS has a selection for hazards and also for spills. Follow the instructions there.
I have this app on my iPad. You can also get them for your phone, for your iPhone. Okay. So this one's just called Scan. There's one called Red Scan and things like that. You can download for free. And then you click on them. And then it just brings up a little camera. And then you can take, and most people use this for, like movie posters will do it. Like if they want you to go to their website, they'll have this on there and you can go to their website and look at it. So it's just an easy way to link. So you can take the QR code and
They bring me my food at the baseball games in Round Rock this way.
excellent. Okay, and so I scanned on that, and then
Okay.
the students were responsible for doing this.
Y'all, the students made these.
Well, they didn't make the MSDSs, they made the
Just
link. They made the code and they linked it to the
I'm sorry, they
website.
made this code.
Yeah, yeah,
Really?
How cool is that?
yeah. And so then it links directly to the MSDS and they can get the information.
How did y'all do that?
So,
There's a website.
Website, yeah. QR code generator.
But
You can just
in
Google
the-
it.
Oh, now you make it sound like it wasn't a big deal.
It wasn't.
I'm looking at it going,
Inventory
man, that's
nightmare. I mean, this is an inventory,
absolutely, solution, absolutely.
oh my goodness.
There you go, for your MS class, Booker.
No, I'm thinking everything we own.
Absolutely. And if people are ever touring the fire station and things like that, and they want to know more information about an item or something like that, you could have it linked to the webpage that talks more about whatever that, you know.
So Google QRS code?
Yeah, QR code generator, you can
QR
just
code generator?
click one of them. It has some sort of weird name.
Yeah, there's multiple companies that do it. They all do
Go
it.
through.
Well, these are the two that
Oh.
you probably want to know about.
How cool is that? I didn't know you could make these. That's neat.
Yeah, and so
So they just went and copy and pasted and put this attached to that.
that's right. They put the URL for this MSDS in there.
These just print on a regular piece of paper?
Just on a regular piece of
Yeah.
paper. The main thing you want to do is you don't want to distort it.
So
what do you think overall? Are we safe to operate?
No, I think you are. One thing, what we generally do is when we go back, we'll submit a letter to you with the recommendations we find.
Okay.
But just to review, one is going to be the exit door.
Mhm.
And the other one is going to be what Jeff pointed out, the extension cords by the waters.
Mhm.
Now, you really need to get that eye wash thing
Fixed.
repaired.
Okay.
And make sure that you're keeping the flammable liquids cabinet locked at all times.
Mhm.
And I think that was, oh, and the fire extinguisher.
Standard.
So what I'll do is I'll email that back to you, and then you can share that with
For
class.
having us out.
Thank you for coming.
Very educational today.
I think
Appreciate it.
Anytime you want to do this, just give us a
Absolutely.
call. And And thank y'all.
Thanks, sir.
First one's free, we start charging lunch after this.
And we do not want to see this on YouTube.
Well, it might be. You never know. Okay.
All right.
If you
Thank
guys have
y'all.
time, you want to have a
But
Yeah, I mean, these guys, but you all want to turn. Me, Jeff?
I don't know.